Hey Mary, hope you had a good day. It's been a while, hasn't it? Hey Jenny, long time. Wow, I didn't expect to hear from you. Can't remember the last time we talked. How long has it been? Not sure. I guess it was right before my son James quit the soccer team, so... I think maybe 6 months ago? How about David? Is he still playing soccer? Yes, he's still at it. Since James quit, he hasn't been himself. Suppose he misses him. Oh yeah, really? What's up? Can I help you with something? Well, it's nothing special. You remember that James took that entrance exam for that private school? Well, today was when the results came back. Oh yeah, that's right. So, how was it? Of course, he got in, no problem. And at the Middleton Academy, one of the hardest schools to get into. Wow, that's really something. Middleton Academy. That's one of the most prestigious schools in the state. Congratulations. Yes, well, James is my son. I expected that much from him. I mean, the amount of money we spent on prep schools and the hours he studied, I knew he would be accepted. I even had him take 5 preparatory classes taught by some renowned educators. I had him study 5 or 6 hours every day. If he didn't get in, I was prepared to kick him out of the house. Oh, really? Must have been hard for him. Hard? You have no idea. We were paying over $1,000 a month on his prep classes. When he was studying at home, I stayed and watched over him. Made sure he didn't slack off. If you want your kids to grow up to be somebody, a mother has to work even harder. I see. I suppose so. I expect it was pretty hard on James. Yes, well, I guess all this studying and getting into the right school is really not of interest to you. So, David is going to the local public school, right? Well, actually, he applied to one of the private schools. And he did well. Got accepted. Oh, really? I figured he was the type to just coast through high school. Anyway, probably just lucky. Congratulations! Huh? What do you mean by that? Just what I said. It was pure luck. I've seen David around. He was playing soccer constantly when he should have been studying, like my James. But he manages to get in? Pure luck. Or was it some low-level school that he got into? Perhaps. Are you being serious? Where is this conversation going anyways? I mean, you didn't even send your kid to prep school. Just allowed him to kick his stupid ball around all day. It just all seems inconceivable. My James quit the soccer club and focused his efforts on getting into a good school. And he did. His motivation and brains are nothing compared to your precious David. Sorry to let you down, but David was studying all that time. Of course, he didn't go to a prep school, but he was focused on his studies. As a result, he passed the entrance exam with flying colors. No use posturing, the result is obvious. David loves playing outside. A kid like that would never sit quietly at home and study. If he had gone to prep school as James had, well, then I may believe you. Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose you couldn't afford it. How rude of me. It's just so easy for us. I tend to forget other people's financial woes. Excuse me, but what is it you're trying to say? Why are you giving me all this BS? I'm just stating facts. Just because David is some local soccer hero, everybody heaping him with praise for his goals. What's all that good for? Once he gets a taste of the real world, all the soccer skills in the world won't help him one bit. In this world, academic background is everything. Is this about David being elected as captain of the soccer team? As a matter of fact, I do remember you rooting for him to become team captain. Is that it? You have a grudge. That's the reason for all this BS? I don't know. You think? Well, anyway, his studies are way more important than kicking a ball around. By entering this prestigious school, he's on the winner's track to success. It was all worth the money and effort. As for David, He's probably on the loser's track to a mediocre career. You had to be a cheapskate and not send him to a proper prep school. This was a turning point in his life, and you ignored that. Being poor can really be frustrating. About David. What about him? He was accepted at the Sturgis Academy. Huh? Sturgis Academy is that famous? I don't know about it being famous, but I suppose so. I'm sure it's the one you're thinking of. Any mother worth her salt knows that place. It's the top academy in the country with a 6% acceptance rate. That's Harvard or Yale level. He's guaranteed to get into those universities too. Also qualifies for a scholarship. He's got the pick of top colleges. Yeah, that's what he tells me. It's that Sturgis Academy that David got accepted to. You can't be serious. You're making it all up. But David, he was never studying. And right before the exam season, he wasn't even going to prep school. He was just kicking that ball around the field all day. For God's sake! How could a kid like that get into the top private school in the country? I can understand you being envious that James got into Middleton Academy, but to make up some extravagant lie, it's despicable, even for you. It's not a lie. Yes, as you say, he was playing soccer every day and continued managing the team. But he put aside time for his studies as well. He felt that sitting at the desk all day would be too stressful, and he needed to manage his time properly. A little exercise allowed him to clear his head, and in the long run, was way better for his studies. When he wasn't at soccer practice, he was at home or at school studying. But he wasn't even going to prep school. Sturgis Academy isn't the type of school you can get into with just a few hours of study a day. You're right. That's why he got a stack of questionnaires and work assignments from his teacher. Anything he had trouble with, he just asked the teacher at school. And also, my eldest son is currently a freshman at Yale University, so he helped out. Wasn't really necessary to send him to a prep school. Huh? Your eldest son is at Yale? Yes. Oh, I thought you knew. That's the first I heard. How could your son go to Sturgis Academy and your other son at Yale? My son's teacher said he barely squeezed his way into Middleton Academy. It all depends on the child. He's got motivation or he doesn't. No motivation. Is that what you're saying? So you're saying that James didn't have enough motivation? No, I'm not saying that. You know that David loves soccer. Sturgis Academy practically guarantees that he gets into one of the top universities, which means he can focus on playing soccer and not worry about college. And he's also interested in studying overseas, probably in Europe. The soccer scene, you know. There are famous Sturgis Academy affiliated universities over there, with some famous soccer alumni. Eventually, he says he wants to join one of the teams over there. So, I suppose that's where his real motivation comes from. Soccer is his motivation? Motivation is very important for studying, no matter what it is. I'm so sorry. By the looks of it, James does not look as if he was studying much, and always just kicking that stupid ball around. But then he gets into one of the top schools in the country? But as you say, results are what matters, right? What? You arrogant little... Even if he got into Sturgis Academy, if he doesn't try, well, what good is it? Yeah, I can see it now. He'll drop out in no time. Well, studying overseas means he has to keep his grades up. I'm sure he'll manage. After all, he has the motivation. Besides all that, is James going to be okay? Middleton is also a top school, and if he can't keep up with those classes, he may end up dropping out. David told me that he saw James dozing off in class, and even went to the school infirmary a couple times because he wasn't feeling well. He tells me James just barely gets by in most of his classes. I'm worried if he can keep up at Middleton Academy. I don't need you lecturing me about my son. If he can't keep up, well, I'm just going to have to make him study harder, that's all. I'll just add more prep classes, and may even hire a home tutor. We'll just have to spend more money, add more classes, and make him study every day, including weekends. Do you really think that's all good for James? What? Well, James confided in me. He told me never to tell you. Truth be told, after quitting the soccer team, he came over to our place. He broke down crying. He didn't want to quit soccer. Huh? He said if he had to quit soccer, he didn't want to take that exam. But he was scared to tell you. He said he'd be kicked out of the house. Tears were streaming down his cheeks. I felt so sorry for him. James, my James, said that? David was pretty upset about it too. He tried talking him out of quitting. David was insistent. He knew James is an outstanding soccer player and hated losing him. He said it was such a waste to throw his talents away. James said he wanted to continue playing soccer. I had no idea. Hey, Jenny, do you really think it's okay to force your son to study and take that exam? Making him work so hard, wrecking him, both mentally and physically. Is he really happy? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, right? The happiness of your child? Aren't you just using your son to satisfy your ego? Your pride? That was not my intention. The reason he was dozing off in class and falling ill. It's all because you increased his after-school classes. In order to keep up with the workload at Middleton, you said you would hire a tutor. The stress alone. I'm worried about his health. As a mother, is that what you want for your son? Of course not! Nothing is more precious to me than James. That's right. Your own child is the most important. Isn't that right? So, listen to what he has to say. What he wants in life. I just hope you'll be able to understand and grant his wishes. Of course, education and academic background are very important. But after all, it's his life. Let him live it as he pleases. You're right. I'm sorry for making such false accusations. Thank you. I see what you're saying. I feel so ashamed. I'll have a talk with him later. Please do. It will be good for both of you. I pray that things will work out. After they talked, it was decided to reject the application to Middleton Academy. He decided to go to a local school, a good school nonetheless. In fact, the school was more in line with James's academic level. What's more, he was able to get onto the soccer team. Both David and I are happy that things turned out for James and that his mother came to her senses.
Hey, Kathy! Whoa, I was really blown away today. What was that at the office this morning? Is it true you're getting married? And to that guy? Boy, oh boy, do I envy you or what? Hello, Laura. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought it'd be better to announce it to everyone first thing in the morning. You know how these rumors spread. Yeah, I know, but really, congratulations! Wow, really good news. I bet a lot of the girls are super envious. Thank you so much. But what I was really floored by is your guy's qualifications. He's our company client. And what's more, he's the next in line to be president. You really lucked out, Kathy. Yeah, right. And I took a look at his photo. Phew, what a hunk. What trick did you use to snag that heartthrob? My god. Well, not sure I lucked out. I guess so, but truth is, we went to high school together. I've known him for a while. Actually, we dated off and on since then. Oh, is that right? Yes, so it wasn't as though I snagged him or anything like that. Back then, there was no talk of him taking over the company. He wasn't even sure he wanted to. It was only about a year ago that this topic was raised. Actually, we were both pretty shocked to hear it. Oh, yeah. So, even if he wasn't slated to take over from his father, would you still have married him?
Yeah, I suppose so. I started dating him because I enjoyed his company and we basically had the same interest.
That's pretty interesting. So, you would still have married him even if he was a low-paid office worker or a clerk or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I suppose so. I probably would have married him even in such a case.
Is that so?
Whatever the situation, I felt I should support him the best I could. That's how I feel.
I see. Okay, I get what you're saying. So, this weekend, do you plan on going on a date with him?
No. Unfortunately, he works on the weekend. At least for now. Preparation for taking over the company. Lot to learn, I guess.
Oh, too bad. I'm sorry, I just remembered I got an appointment soon. Alright then, I'll see you on Monday at the office. See ya!
Yeah, okay. See you on Monday.
Hey, Kathy. You got a second?
Oh, hello, Laura. What's up? Today's a day off. Can I help you with something?
Yup, today's a holiday. So I'm on a date with my boyfriend.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Nice day for a date, that's for sure.
This date? I just started seeing this guy like 2 hours ago. And guess what? We already did the, you know what, this really cements our bond.
Right. Kind of early in the day, wouldn't you say?
Kinda surprised, huh?
Yeah, you could say that again.
Well, that's not all. You're gonna be even more surprised after I tell you this.
Really? Wonder what it could be about. I'd rather not hear the details of your... you know what.
But you do want to know, right? I bet you do.
Sounds like I'm going to hear what you have to say even if I want to or not, lol.
Yeah, do I sound so obvious? Okay then, I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
The guy I'm with, he's the son of this company president. Pretty big company too.
Oh yeah? That's great.
And about this guy, you know him pretty well.
Really? Who could that be?
Guess who it is?
Let's see. If it's someone I know, well, there's only 2 people that come to mind.
Oh, so you know 2 guys, huh?
Yes, well...
No doubt it's one of those guys, lol.
So, that means... no way. It's not David, is it?
Bingo! You hit it right on the nail! Congratulations!
Huh? Are you totally serious?
Yup, totally serious.
Why did it turn out that way? Where did you even meet him?
LOL. I just happened to walk by his office today and... well, it seems David had just finished work and came out of the office building and I literally ran right into him. As I was going to congratulate him, he invited me out to lunch and we had a little to drink. One thing led to another and, you know... I know you're a bit of a prude, so I won't get into the details, lol. I suppose it means my charm beats yours. So sorry, lol.
I see, but I'm not...
Didn't expect it to turn out like this, but it did. So, sorry, but David is mine now. The marriage is off. Sorry, but forget that you ever met him.
Huh? Forget I even met him?
Yeah, that's right. This is the last you'll hear from me for a while. Maybe forever. David and I are going to go out on the town tonight, lol. Hey, Kathy. Hey, pick up.
What is this?
What's going on here? This whole thing, it's not right. This is not happening.
What's the matter?
It's about that guy. The guy you're going to marry. Why is he David's younger brother? Are you pranking me or something, or is it some sick joke?
Prank? Sick joke? I really don't know what you're talking about.
Don't act like you don't know. You were so angry at the time that you started seeing David's brother Ken in order to spite me. So you're planning to marry Kent and start hassling me, right? That's your sick plan.
Huh? Hassle you? You're not making any sense.
Oh, I get it. You plan to get David back from me, then kick me out and become the president's wife. You're sick.
Huh?
You act so innocent, but inside you're a diabolical scheming woman. Oh my god, this is unbelievable.
Huh? Excuse me, but really, I have no idea what?
No matter what you do, no matter how much you bully me, I will fight your every attempt.
The guy I plan to marry has always been Kent.
Huh?
Like I said before, I went to high school with him. And David went to a different school from the one we attended. And what's more, he's 6 years older than us. I don't see why we could have went to school together or even have known him very well. Of course, I met him a number of times, but...
Huh? What are you saying? You said that your fiancé is slated to be the next president of the company.
Yes, that's right. Kent will become the next president.
What? No, wait. That can't be right.
Why's that?
But think about it. David is the eldest, has the right to become the next president. I mean, Kent is the younger brother. No matter how you spin it, David is the rightful beneficiary. It does not make sense to have Kent take over.
Oh, about that. Well, you're right. That would be the normal case, and it was until about a year ago. But for various reasons, it was decided that Kent would take over eventually.
Huh? That can't be. Why?
Don't you remember that time? When our customer's company had some sort of system failure and we were affected by it?
Yes, that case. About a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Well, that system mishap was a drastic error caused by one of their employees. Remember that?
Yeah, there was some talk of that. I forget the details. What about it? What's that got to do with anything?
Well, it was not really revealed to the other employees, but the person who made that error was David.
Huh? David?
That system error had adverse effects on their everyday operation. They said it would take 2 or 3 days to get the system back up and running. Well, that was when Kent stepped in. He got the system back in operation within a day.
And so you're saying because of that, he was chosen to take over as president instead of David?
Yes, that's right. It was through this incident that everyone realized that Dave was just not cut out for this type of work, and subsequently, an internal investigation was carried out, and they soon learned that David had been taking credit for many of the projects in recent years, most of which were actually planned and carried out by his brother Kent. After that, he was demoted from an executive position to a normal employee. He's currently doing mostly filing work, not sure which department.
No, that can't be right. You mean to tell me that David is no longer a candidate to become president? He's just a lowly clerk doing filing work?
Yes, that seems to be the case. He'll probably remain in that position until retirement, unless he quits, of course.
No way this is happening. This can't be true.
Can I ask you something, Laura?
What?
You told me to forget about David or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah, what about it?
I'm just speculating here, but... Did you say that because you thought you were stealing my fiancé from me and saw yourself as the wife of the next company president? Was that your intention?
Well, I was only trying to.
Yeah, well, David and Kent, if you look at the photos, they almost look like twins. So you figured it was my fiancé Kent that you were courting and eventually ended up doing the, you know what with him. Isn't that right?
Well, I thought he, you know.
Don't worry, I don't plan to reprimand you or anything, but...
But what?
If you don't plan on marrying David, I recommend that you break up with as soon as possible.
Why do you say that?
Your reaction tells me you have no idea. Did you know that David was previously married?
Huh? He was married?
Yes, his wife divorced him because he was cheating on her.
Cheating on her?
His ex-wife was pretty ticked off about all of it. I don't blame her. Anyway, she demanded compensation.
Compensation?
What's more, he's got 2 kids, which means he has to pay for child support at least until they finish college.
He has kids?
Yes, so he has to pay a considerable amount every month. I hear he just barely gets by.
You're making all this up.
Oh yeah, also.
What? There's more?
Well, he managed to get himself into all kinds of trouble and... Well, his parents no longer wanted anything to do with him. Which means he has been completely cut off from inheriting any of his parents' estate.
Are you kidding me?
That's about all I can tell you.
What? Then why did I even sleep with the guy? I don't care if he's handsome. I don't want a guy with that much baggage. He's nothing. As long as he was going to be president, I don't mind being a housewife. so I already submitted my resignation.
You what? Oh my god.
Please, Kathy, help me out, please. Can you switch? Give me Ken and you take David. Come on, please.
You're not serious. No way.
Huh?
I urge you to talk it over with David and work things out between you two. This was all kind of strange. The only thing I get from this is that Laura got this little idea in her head, went through with her delusions, and in the end, she crashed and burned. I really can't understand what she was thinking. As for David and Laura, I heard they eventually got married. I heard that before she learned the facts from me, she told all her friends and relatives that she was going to be the wife of a company president. Well, it seems she was stuck with the guy. There was no way to get out of it. Well, that makes her my sister-in-law, but luckily we don't have any contact with them. I don't know if it's her pride, but she refused to work despite David struggling to make ends meet. This bickering between David and Laura continued every night. The noise of them fighting eventually caused the neighbors to complain, and they were kicked out of the apartment they were living in. I haven't heard from them since.